The Grizzlies do get the win last night, 128-109. I feel like we just might look back on that Knicks loss 1 week ago and call it the most important loss of the season. It has been a total energy shift for this group. The renewed energy and intensity from the Grizzlies in the 3 games since. They had 67 points in the second half last night. In the 2 games prior, they had over 70 points in each of the second halves against both the Rockets and the Bucks. But the thing that struck me the most yesterday was how few games we have had in recent memory where Ja and Jaren are both just cooking. Like, leading this team as emotional leaders, as leaders through their play. Jaren Jackson Jr. has no qualms about going right at the dribble off, or right off the dribble at Victor Wembanyama, who has some people shaking in their boots, but not Jaren. And to go back-to-back nights of attacking the matchup against Giannis Antetokounmpo and then going at Victor Wembanyama last night is just the stark reality that Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the best players in the NBA. Like, we simply do not talk about it enough. We say things like, well, he certainly is on his way to perhaps having an all-NBA season. No, Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the best players, one of the best two-way players in the NBA. He had a block on Jeremy Sohan last night. That was one of the best defensive highlights that we have seen at FedEx Forum thus far this season. And then to get Ja back, it was funny. Mike Wallace asked me before the game on the Grind City Media warm-up show, like, what do you need to see from Ja statistic-wise in his first game back after missing the last 2 with shoulder soreness? And I paused and I said, I feel greedy that my first answer is a double-double. Like, my first answer is 20 and 10. And then I said, that might not be realistic. That might not be in the cards tonight. Who knows if he's feeling 100% how that shoulder is going to act in the game against the Spurs. And then what does he do? He goes out and has 25 and 11. And it just felt like a game where Ja Morant was in full orchestration mode of the offense. There were a couple turnovers early in the game, but once he settled into it, everything was done with precision, and there was intent behind every action from Ja on the basketball court last night. And he had the 3-ball going early. He got to his spots. He's starting to get more and more comfortable. He hasn't played many games with Gigi Jackson. He still hasn't played that many games with Zach Edey. And I thought the pick-and-roll action from Ja and Edey last night, that's what many people have been clamoring for, and it worked really successfully. You now have back-to-back double-doubles for Zach Edey, 16 and 14 for the rookie last night. He was a plus 25 in the game. But with everything clicking like that, it's hard not to get very excited about what this team can be this year. They've won 9 of the last 10. Like, that game against the Knicks was so bad, it had people in such shambles that it made everybody question, well, do I believe the result? Do I believe the wins over the Hornets and the Pelicans and the Jazz? But now you've come out of that with wins over the Rockets, the Bucks, and now the Spurs, who don't have De'Aaron Fox yet, and that will be an interesting addition to the San Antonio Spurs of this season. But the Grizzlies have played really, really well. 66 points in the paint, 47 boards, 33 assists, 17 steals, tied their season high from the defensive activity last night. All good stuff from the Grizzlies against the Spurs.
Hey, as long as they value the basketball, and that was a struggle early in the game, they'll be beyond right there with a chance to win any series, right? They'll win most of the 7-game series that they play. It's only a handful of teams in the NBA, the Cavs, I guess the Celtics, Thunder, where it is, okay, 7-game series, I'm not really sure what's going to pop off. Let's sit down and watch. But outside of that, like in a 7-game series, assuming you take care of the basketball, the Grizzlies are in good shape for all the reasons that you named. You've got 2 tremendous closers in Ja and Jaren. You've got Jaren Jackson Jr., who is the second leading power forward in blocks behind only Anthony Davis. And when you look at the top 10 of those players who are leading the NBA in blocks, best offensive player, you could argue about him or Anthony Davis, but that's it. So you've got a dude playing like that on defense at an all defensive level and an MVP level overall, because he can do both. He can defend and score the ball, and he can close out games, taking some pressure off of Ja. Jaren is just a walking mismatch. You go on a run, it's clear now. Teams go on a run, it's all right, give Jaren the ball, let Jaren go to work. He'll get us a bucket. we'll stop this run and maybe start a run of our own. And then you throw into it the play of your Jalen Wells is on the perimeter, Desmond Bane on the perimeter, Luke Kennard and what he's been inserted into the starting lineup and what he could be as the primary ball handler for your second unit. You're going to get good Santi games, plural. You'll get one bad one, like 1 out of every 5 might be, ooh, Santi, what are you doing? But that still means 4 of them are really, really good. You're getting all of that plus contributions, major contributions from Zach Edey, who's big and physical on the inside, not going to be pushed around. This is a team that, and we do this, we oscillate. We blow so hot and cold with them. But I think at this point in the season, February, we don't got much of the regular season left. But here in February, I think I feel comfortable saying, okay, legitimate Western Conference contending team right here.
Yeah.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, live every weekday at 8 a.m.